Assalamualaikum dear students. Welcome back to chapter number 3, that is India's internal challenges. See, in this chapter we have already seen the different challenges that India has to face after independence, like socialism, communalism, Northeast India, like Mizoram, this Nagaland, all are demanding for their separate countries. Why? Because of tribes people and scheduled castes used to live there, and they want their separate country. Then afterward they are having the internal problem with their local bodies. So these all the internal challenges that India has faced. Now move to the next topic, that is Assam. In 1983, there was an intense education staged by all Assam Students Union and Assam Gana Sangram Parishad over the questions of dominance in Assam of Bengali migrants. See what happened in 1893. Many of the Bengalis are entering in the different state, and in Assam it is very near to Bengal. So Bengalis are taking place, started staying there in Assam. So Assami people wants them to leave the Assam. So what happened? Bengalis are living in every state, like they are living in every state, but Assam is the place. In 1983 they were like more, they have focused more on Assam. Then in 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Central Home Minister Shankar Rao Chauhan and Assamese leader Praful Kumar Mohanto signed an accord. It was decided to send the Bengali citizens who had infiltrated in Assam back to their original place. See what happened? What the Prime Minister of India, that is Central Home Ministers and Assami leader, they have decided one thing, that all the Bengalis have to leave Assam. Why? Because Assami people wants them to leave Assam. So the Bengalis has to go for their original place, that is Bengal only. In 1986, elections were held for Assam Legislative Assembly, and Praful Mohanto of the Assam Gana Parishad become the new chief minister. Due to this democratic process, it's become possible to establish peace in Assam. After they started conducting the election, who can give the vote? The person who is the citizen of a different state, they can the country, they can give the vote. But because of the election system, Bengalis has to leave the Assam, and Assamese are leaving peacefully. Then Arunachal Pradesh. See, Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is the place where we can face the first morning, like the sun rise from there only, from the east. That is Arunachal Pradesh is the main place where we can see the sunrises first. In 1954, NAFA was created. In 1972, it begins to be called as Arunachal Pradesh, region of the rising sun. See, the sun rise first from Arunachal Pradesh. On 25th of February 1987, it got the status of constituent state. During this period, from 1960 to 2000, Northeast India has progressed towards a more mature democracy. This area is on the path of progress through industrialization, spread of education, etc. Arunachal Pradesh, before 1987, it was very backward area. But after 1987, 25th February, after 1987, what happened? The Arunachal Pradesh becoming more democratic or more mature, and they have started focusing on industrialization. The education system has taken a good place there. Now next topic is Naxalism. Naxalite movement. This movement started at Naxalbari in Darjeeling districts in the West Bengal. See, in West Bengal, there is one place, there is one village in the Darjeeling that's called Naxalbari. The Naxalite organized the small and holding farmers and the land laborers and took charge of their lands. See, the farmers, started taking the guns in their hand and started fighting against these things, put up red flags and declared the area a free territory in 1967. All those movements that took inspiration from these rebels are called Naxalite movement. The farmer and the labor took the stand for the territory. That's called Naxalite movement. The movement had the objective of establishing action committee to raise a voice against the exploitations of the farmer by the landlords and the confiscate the land of landlords and distribute it among the tenants. Later, the movement strayed away from its objective. What happened? Why this movement is made? Because the landlord started degrading or taking advantage of all the farmers, and farmer has to go through with lots of circumstances. That's why they took the stand against this. It took resource to terrorism to prevent any government schemes and welfare policies from reaching the common people. The Naxalites started a parallel system by rejecting the democratic system. This made Naxalites a serious challenge to India's internal security. See, I don't know if you know or not, but there is one system, that is called autonomy. If a one price is there, for example, 1 kg of wheat is around 30 rupees kg, all the farmers has to charge 30 rupees only. So this is the kind of government rule, and you cannot break them. So they will give you the certain amount that you only have to take this. Sometimes you need more expensive, after more than 30 rupees. Then what happened? They have to, if the farmer has to face the problem, and they have to give the mortgage to landlord. So these are the system, so that the farmer doesn't wants to follow that. So they make a parallel system. These made an Naxalite a serious challenge to India's internal security. The movement was mainly located in West Bengal. Later, the movement started spread to East Godavari in Andhra Pradesh, part of the Visakhapatnam, Karimanagar in Telangana, Adilabad, Bastar, Rajasthan, Gaon, and Sukma in Chhattisgarh, Gadchiroli, Bhindra and parts of the Chandrapur in Maharashtra, Balaghat and Mandala in Madhya Pradesh, and Koraput in Odisha. In order to maintain their influence, the Naxalite established an organization called People's Liberation Guerrilla Army. This conflict is still going. So this is one of the more reasons for India's internal security, India's internal challenge. India has to face this problem also. The farmer, the landlord, and different states are taking part in it. First it was only West Bengal, then afterward these all the states are including in it. Then communalism is a serious threat in the unity of our country. Communalism emerges out of the narrow religious pride. The British sowed the seeds of communalism in our country. People of different regions have happily lived together since many centuries. There is nothing wrong a people of different regions living together in a country while being duly proud of their own religion. But when this pride becomes excessive, then it turns into bigotry. Each one then begins to consider their religion superior and others inferior. This leads to regional religious fanaticism. See what happened? Communalism, before British was ruling India, all are living happily with all are living happily. Like India and Pakistan was also same. The Hindu and Muslims used to live in a very peaceful and in broad minded, that every religion is same, and the first we should focus on any of the social things is humanity. We have to follow the humanity, that all the people are same. See, everybody follows their religion, their customs, their values. They are the different things, but we live in India. India is a multilingual country. All the multi-religious people live in a one place, but because of the British, put in our mind that our religion is superior than others. So this will, the problem, this was creating a one of the more problem. Fanaticism is the base of communalism. It makes our oblivious of the national interest. People of different religions don't trust each other. They become suspicious of each other. Comparatives following different religions are called as enemies. Even commensurately or coming together on the festival become rare. As a result, it become difficult for everybody to come together and get organized for their demands and rights are as citizens. Fanaticism make the perspectives of looking at the event and people prejudice. Some people begins to think of economic and social questions also in the framework of their own religion. See, now what happened, the people are not, coming contact with each other. The Muslim is not going on Hindus festival, the Hindus are not coming into the Muslims festival, and the Brahmins are becoming the more superior. They don't sit with Dalit people. So these are the, different problem we started facing. Then some people of the religious thinking, since they belongs to a particular region, they have no influence in the politics. They begin to believe that they are being treated unjustly. They hold the idea that government is a partial against their religion. In such condition, they become too sensitive about their region and their co-regionalists. If anybody speaks about the people of their regions or insults the religious symbols knowing or unknowingly, riots break out because of these kinds of thinking. Hundreds of innocent people are killed, public property worth crores of rupees is damaged, public peace is destroyed due to bitter memories of the rights people are in church from the east or each other, and mutual trust is received as a setback. See, after that what happened, they some of the, communities are not taking part in politics. Why they started feeling, for example, if you will take the example of Dalits, what happened, the voting rights is not for the Dalits. Before this, after independence, they don't have a voting rights. They cannot sit with the Brahmins people. They are not allowed to go in, into the public places. So these are the, things which is going wrong with them. So what happened, if something is happen, if their symbol is, for we are taking just example, if we are taking the symbol of Dalits as a ball. So what happened if something is used in a ball or system is, the we are using the symbol, what happened, they feel very bad. They started destroying the people. All the things were getting very worse. Trust between people in the basis of coexistence. If trust breaks, social unity receives a blow. How can national unity be achieved without social unity? Hence, it is necessary that we all counter this religion communism with our strength. See what happened? Obviously, when you have a unity, one cannot break you. But if you don't have unity, if we don't have unity, what happened? Who takes the advantage of that before independence? The Britishers. They know it, that we don't have in our mind just some are black, some are white. But what happened, British, posted is this in our mind, that some people are black, some people are white. Then we started thinking, yeah, right, this is, they cannot sit with us. We are from upper caste, they are from lower caste. So these are the, social problem. We should accept the good practice and ideas of each other. We should be able to look at the understand our economic and social problem rationally. We should not mix these questions with religion. We should search for the economic, political, or historical reason that are responsible for distributing religious harmony. This is the only way to put an end to communalism and strengthen national unity. So what we should focus on, the economic problem, the political problem, the social problem, not about the, this kind of the things that we are black, they are, they are from upper class, we are from lower class, and they are not giving voting rights. So these are the system you have to take away from all this. What is our main reason now also? What we should focus on? Economical situation. Many of the people doesn't have job, many of the people are facing, um, lots of things in India. Now what we are focusing, we are still on Hindu Muslims, but we have to focus on these topics: social, economical and rational things. We can see here till here. We'll continue in next lecture.